I sat in my car outside the Royal Bank, engine running, hands steady on the wheel. Through the windshield, I could see the Tuesday morning crowd shuffling in and out. I'd already made the appointment, I'd already decided. What I hadn't done was tell anyone. The heater hummed, warming my feet, and I checked my phone one more time. No missed calls. Good. I turned off the engine, grabbed my purse, and walked inside. My name is Dorothy. I'm 68 years old and I've lived in Edmonton my entire life. I raised my son Connor in a modest bungalow on the south side. His father passed when Connor was 12 and I worked 2 jobs to keep us afloat. I didn't spoil him, I couldn't afford to, but I made sure he had what he needed and I thought I taught him the value of money. I was wrong. Connor is 43 now. He married Sienna 6 years ago. She's 39, beautiful, and works in marketing for a wellness brand. I say works, but from what I can tell, her job mostly involves posting photos on Instagram and attending events where people drink green juice and talk about manifesting abundance. When they first got together, I liked her. She was bubbly, complimentary, always telling me how lucky Connor was to have such a strong mother. She'd hug me tight and say things like, "You're such an inspiration, Dorothy." I believed her. Then they got married. The wedding was in B. Sienna insisted on it. She wanted the mountains in the background, the luxury hotel, the 300-person guest list. Connor told me not to worry about the cost. He said they had it covered, but 2 months later, he asked if I could help with the honeymoon expenses. They'd gone to the Maldives, 21 days private villa. It cost more than my first car. I said yes. I had some savings from selling the old house and downsizing to a condo. I figured he's my son, it's his honeymoon, I can help this once. It wasn't once. Over the next 6 years, it became a pattern. Connor would call, always with a reason. Sienna's car broke down, they needed a new furnace, there was an emergency vet bill for their dog, and I'd help because that's what mothers do. I didn't keep a tally, I didn't ask for repayment, I just wanted him to be okay. But last spring, something shifted. I was at their house for Sunday dinner. They live in a new build in Sherwood Park, one of those subdivisions where every house looks identical except for the color of the shutters. Theirs is gray with white trim, very trendy, very expensive. Sienna was showing me photos on her phone. A mutual friend had just bought a summer cottage in British Columbia. Sienna scrolled through the pictures, cooing over the lake views and the hot tub on the deck. "We need something like this," she said, glancing at Connor. "Don't you think?" Connor nodded, mouth full of roast chicken. "Would be nice. I mean, we work so hard," Sienna continued, turning to me. "We deserve a place to unwind, somewhere we can just breathe, you know." I nodded politely. I didn't point out that they'd taken 4 vacations in the past year. I didn't mention that Sienna's idea of work seemed to involve a lot of yoga retreats and spa days. "How much do cottages go for out there?" I asked, trying to sound interested. "Oh, probably 400,000, Sienna said casually as if that were pocket change. "Maybe 5, but it's an investment, you know, real estate always goes up." Connor looked at me then, and I saw it, that look, the one that said, "Maybe you could help." I changed the subject, but the seed was planted. Over the next few months, I started noticing things. Sienna's new handbag, the one with the interlocking G's, Connor's watch, sleek and silver, the kind you see in magazines, the furniture in their living room, all mid-century modern, all brand new, the wine they served, always expensive, always French, and the credit card. That was my mistake. 3 years ago, Connor had asked if he could be added as an authorized user on one of my credit cards, just for emergencies. He said, he was between jobs at the time, and his credit wasn't great. I said yes, I trusted him, he was my son. I checked the statements now and then, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. A gas purchase here, a grocery run there. I figured he was being responsible. Then in October, I got the statement for September. I almost choked on my tea. $12,000. I scanned the charges: restoration hardware, Holt Renfruit, a payment to something called Lux Interiors, another charge to a place called Elite Audio. I didn't recognize any of it. I called Connor immediately. "Hey, Mom," he answered, sounding distracted. I could hear Sienna in the background laughing about something. Connor, I need to talk to you about the credit card. Oh, yeah, sorry, I meant to mention that. We had a few things come up, $12,000 worth of things. He paused. We're renovating the basement, turning it into a media room. Sienna really wanted it done before her parents' visit at Christmas, and you didn't think to ask me first? Mom, it's fine, I'll pay you back. I just needed to get it done now. You know how Sienna's mom is, she's super judgmental. I closed my eyes, took a breath. Connor, this isn't what the card is for. I know, but it's handled. I'll transfer you the money next month. He didn't. November came and went, the bill rolled over, interest started piling on. I called him again, he apologized, said things were tight because of Christmas shopping, promised he'd send it in January. January came, nothing. February, still nothing. By March, I'd had enough, but I didn't confront him, not yet. I wanted to see how far it would go, and then I heard about the Audi. It was mid-April. I'd stopped by their house to drop off some preserves I'd made. Sienna answered the door in yoga pants and a cashmere hoodie, hair pulled into a messy bun. Dorothy, come in, you're just in time. In time for what? She grinned, practically bouncing. Connor surprising me for my birthday. He won't tell me what it is, but I think it's big. I stepped inside, setting the jars on the counter. Your birthday's not until June. I know. That's what makes it so exciting. He's planning ahead. She leaned in conspiratorially. I think it's a car. My stomach dropped. A car? I've been dropping hints for months. There's this Audi Q7 I've been eyeing. Gorgeous, fully loaded. It's like 85,000, but Connor says I deserve it. She shrugged, all innocence. And honestly, I do. I've been working so hard on the new campaign. I forced a smile. That's wonderful. Inside, I was screaming. That night, I called Connor. Mom, hey, I was just about to call you. Were you? Yeah, I wanted to ask if you could help out with something. Sienna's birthday is coming up and I want to do something special. Let me guess, an Audi. Silence. Sienna told me, I said quietly. Oh, he laughed nervously. Yeah. I mean, she's been wanting one for a while, and I thought, why not? She deserves it. And how are you planning to pay for it? Well, that's the thing. I was hoping you could help just with the down payment, maybe 30,000. I can handle the rest with financing. I couldn't speak. My hands were shaking. Mom, you still owe me 12,000 from the credit card, I said, voice tight. You haven't paid me back, not a cent. I know, but this is different. This is for Sienna. It's her 40th birthday. I can't just get her nothing, then get her something you can afford. Mom, come on, don't be like this. Be like what? Connor? Responsible. He sighed, that exasperated sound he used to make as a teenager. You don't understand. Sienna's used to a certain lifestyle. Her parents have money, her friends have money. If I don't keep up, she's going to think I'm a failure. Then maybe she married the wrong person. The line went dead. I sat there in the silence of my condo, staring at the phone. My hands were still shaking. I felt sick. That's when I made the decision. I wasn't going to give him the money. I wasn't going to enable this anymore, but I also wasn't going to tell him, not yet. I wanted him to learn the lesson the hard way. Sienna's birthday was June 14th. I marked it on my calendar and 3 days before I went to the bank. The appointment was quick, professional. I explained what I wanted to do and the advisor nodded, no judgment in her eyes. She'd probably seen this before. I closed the joint savings account Connor had access to, all $63,000, moved into a new account under my name only. I called the credit card company and had Connor removed as an authorized user. Then I blocked the card entirely just to be safe. When I walked out of the bank, I felt lighter than I had in years. I didn't tell Connor, I didn't tell anyone, I just waited. June 12th, 2 days before Sienna's birthday, my phone rang. It was Connor. He sounded panicked. Mom, something's wrong with the savings account. I tried to transfer money for the down payment and it says the account is closed. That's because it is. Silence. What? I closed it, I said calmly. 3 days ago. You closed it? Why? Because it's my money, Connor, not yours, but I need that money. The dealership is holding the Audi. I told them I'd have the down payment by tomorrow. Then I guess you'll have to figure something else out. Mom, you can't do this. Sienna's birthday is in 2 days. I promised her. You promised her with my money. That's not fair. I laughed bitter and sharp. Fair, Connor. You've spent over $12,000 on my credit card without paying me back. You've asked me to fund your lifestyle, your vacations, your renovations, and now you want another $30,000 for a car you can't afford. When does it stop? I was going to pay you back. When? You've been saying that for months? He was breathing hard now. Angry? I can't believe you're doing this. You're going to ruin her birthday. No, Connor, you did that, not me. He hung up. I sat down, hands trembling again, but this time with adrenaline. I'd done it. I'd actually done it. The next day, I got a text from Sienna. I hope you're happy. You just humiliated Connor in front of the dealership. He had to walk out because he couldn't come up with the money. This is your fault. I didn't reply. Another text came an hour later. You're supposed to support your son. What kind of mother does this? I blocked her number. Connor called that night. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. Mom, please, I'm sorry, I messed up. I know I did, but Sienna's devastated. She's barely talking to me. Can we talk about this, please? I deleted it. 2 days later, on Sienna's actual birthday, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered. Dorothy, it was Connor. He must have borrowed someone's phone. What? Can I come over? Why? I need to talk to you in person. I hesitated, then I said, fine, tomorrow noon. He showed up at 11:45 looking like he hadn't slept. His hair was messy, shirt wrinkled. He sat on my couch and put his head in his hands. She's furious, he said. She thinks I lied to her. She's talking about staying at her parents' place for a few days. Maybe that's a good idea. He looked up, eyes red. Mom, I know I screwed up. I know I took advantage. But I didn't think you'd actually cut me off. Why not? Because you're my mom, you've always been there, and you took that for granted. He didn't argue, he just sat there staring at the floor. Connor, I said, softening slightly, I love you, but I can't keep funding a life you can't afford. Sienna wants things you can't give her, and instead of setting boundaries, you keep coming to me. That's not fair, not to you and not to me. I just wanted her to be happy. Then be honest with her, tell her what you can and can't afford. If she loves you, she'll understand. If she doesn't. I paused, then maybe it's time to ask yourself why you're with her. He left without saying much else. I didn't hear from him for a week. Then one evening he called. She left, he said quietly. What? Sienna. She said she can't be with someone who can't provide the lifestyle she's used to. She moved back in with her parents. My heart broke for him, not because I liked Sienna, but because I knew he'd loved her in his own misguided way. I'm sorry, Connor, you were right, he said, voice cracking. I should have set boundaries, I should have been honest, but I thought if I just kept giving her what she wanted, she'd stay. I thought that's what love was. Love isn't about buying someone's affection, I said gently, it's about respect and partnership and honesty. He was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, can I come over? Of course. He showed up an hour later. We sat on the couch and I made tea and we talked for the first time in years. Really talked about his dad, about money, about the pressure he'd felt to live up to Sienna's expectations, about how he'd lost himself trying to make her happy. I don't know how to fix this, he admitted. You start by being honest with yourself, I said, about what you want, what you can afford, what kind of life you actually want to live, not the one someone else expects you to live. He nodded slowly. I owe you an apology for the credit card, for everything. I know, I'm going to pay you back. It might take a while, but I will. I believe you. And I did because for the first time in years, he wasn't making empty promises, he was facing the truth. It's been 4 months since that day. Connor sold the house in Sherwood Park, too big, too expensive, too full of memories he wanted to forget. He moved into a small rental in Old Strathcona, something modest and manageable. He's been paying me back in small installments, $200 a month. It's not much, but it's consistent, it's real. Sienna tried to reach out a few weeks ago. She sent him a message saying she'd made a mistake, that she missed him. He didn't reply. He's dating someone new now. Her name is Fiona, she's a teacher, drives a 10-year-old Honda and laughs at Connor's jokes even when they're not funny. They went camping last weekend. He called me from the campsite, sounding lighter than I've heard him in years. "Thanks, Mom, for not giving me the money." "You're welcome, I mean it. I would have kept digging myself deeper. I would have lost everything." "You didn't lose everything," I said, "you lost the things that didn't matter." "I don't regret what I did, not for a second." Some people might think I was cruel, that I should have just given him the money and kept the peace, but peace built on enabling someone's worst habits isn't real peace, it's just postponing the inevitable collapse. Connor had to learn that love isn't transactional, that happiness doesn't come from expensive cars or luxury vacations or impressing people who don't really care about you. He had to learn that the hard way, and I had to let him. That's the thing about being a parent. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is say no. Sometimes you have to let them fall so they can learn to stand on their own. It's painful, it's terrifying, but it's necessary because at the end of the day, I didn't raise my son to be dependent, I raised him to be strong, and if that meant pulling the rug out from under him so he could find his footing, then so be it. I'm 68 years old, I've worked hard for everything I have, and I'm not going to apologize for protecting it or for teaching my son the lesson I should have taught him years ago. Money doesn't buy happiness, but boundaries buy peace, and that's worth more than any Audi. If you're a parent watching this and you see yourself in my story, I want you to know something. It's not too late to set boundaries, it's not too late to say no. Your children might be angry at first, they might not understand, but if you love them, truly love them, you'll teach them to stand on their own 2 feet, because one day you won't be here, and when that day comes, they need to know how to survive without you. That's not cruelty, that's love, the kind that lasts.